Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered elect across the four corners of the earth, and in those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. I am Disciple Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. Now, this boxing official that you see below you, this is Tony Weeks, and you see that his shirt is bloody. He's been putting in a lot of work. Okay, so this lesson is going to be titled, reposting is not works. Okay, and so I just kind of want to get a quote that Tony Weeks had said from an article. And I got this article from AshleyReyes.com/news/Tony Weeks. He says, the protection of the fighters is first and foremost. It is our responsibility. The general public bears no responsibility for what happens in the ring. We, referees, do, said Weeks. And so it's kind of a concept that will be used throughout this lesson. So essentially, we are essentially officials, and you have little ones who are coming into this truth. Okay, and we gotta protect them. If they're listening in truth and sincerity, and they're being meek. Okay, but at the same time, we also gotta put in that work, and we gotta officiate. Okay, and I'll get more into this lesson. So first and foremost, I want to go ahead and start off in Romans chapter 15. I'm going to start on verse 18, and it reads, "For I will not dare to speak of any of those things which Hamashiach hath not wrote by me, to make the Gentiles obedient by the word and deed." Okay, and that Gentile goes into those Israelite foreigners. Okay, it says, "through mighty signs and wonders by the power of the Spirit of Yahweh, so that from Jerusalem and round about unto Illyricum, I have found I have fully preached the gospel of Hamashiach." All right, he preached. He didn't repost. He preached. "Yea, so have I strived to prove the gospel, not where Hamashiach was named, lest I should build upon another man's foundation." And that's what you're doing. You're building on somebody else's foundation. And first and foremost, you're not even giving them props or, posting where you got that information from. It's just like in school, you write an essay, you gotta put in that essay in like MLA format or something like that, or where you got the information from. Okay. You're not giving credit when credit is due. All right. And again, not trying to bash on anybody, but open rebuke is better than secret love. So he's stating faith and works right there. Okay, let's see. Lucky, give me a second. And we go into that word preached. No, that's not it right there. G27. It's lucky. Let me go back real quick. So this is the word for preaching right here, and it's going to be called
Strong's G 2784. Keruso. Keruso.
keruso. Okay, so when you look at that word, it says to be heralded, to officiate as a herald. Okay, to proclaim after the manner of a herald. So it's always with the suggestion of formality, gravity, and authority, which must be listened to and obeyed. To publish, proclaim openly. Okay, that's not reposting. Something that which has been done. All right. So, it's really important right there. But so let's go to James 1:22. And he reads, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." Okay. I'm interested. Let's see what that word "doers" means. Strong's G 4163.
Strong's G 4163. Poietes. Poietes.
To make a maker, a producer, author, a doer, performer. Again, this is not going into reposting. A poet. Look at that. All right. And as a poet, you're doing something. You're telling a story. But you're telling some the story based off what you learn from learned men. Okay. And then let's go to Matthew's 10. I'm going to read verses 5-8. This is a commandment, okay? So it says, "Thus the 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not in the way of the Gentiles, all right, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, all right? And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand," all right? He's saying, preach. And it says, "Heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give." Okay. So you're doing these things. And then I wanted to go into that word herald. I'm going to pull that up in the etymology. All right, when you herald is, you're a messenger for an envoy, right? But you're speaking it out. Yeah. And, you're doing that with works too, So, and really it says right here, it says the herald to sound the praise of, officiate, perform the duties of a priest, right? And what does a priest do? It stays with his flock. It protects. It officiates. All right. It's focused on a certain group of people at that time and moment. All right. Just like you got this boxing ref right here. Okay, as a reference. So now we go to 1 Corinthians 9:26. I'm going to go ahead and read the NLT. You guys can follow along with on the KJV on the left-hand side. It says, "So I run with a purpose in every step. I'm not just shadow boxing. All right. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified." Okay. You got to get your body right, your mind right. You You can't just step in that ring and just fake the funk. Reposting, that's not even shadow boxing. You got to put in work to do that. All right, so let's go to James. I'm not sure if I read this already, but yeah, I already read that. Yeah, so you got be ye doers. Again, I'll read it again. James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right. So you got to tell the word of Yahweh. As if you're gonna be a poet, because as a doer, it's Strong's 4163. Just to kind of rehash on that, it says a maker, a producer, a doer, a performer, and it says a poet. So you got to tell the word of Yahweh given to you by learned men. So now we're going to go to the book of Sirach. Chapter 8 and 8 through 9. It says, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answers as need requireth. Okay? Let's go to 1 Timothy. Five and 1. So, Lockie, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to read the NLT. You guys go ahead and follow along right there. It says, NLT says, never speak harshly to an older man, but appeal to him respectfully, and as you would to your own father. It says, talk to younger men as you would to your own brothers. Okay? So these are the little ones. All right, coming into this truth. Okay? And it says, I'll read the KJV. It says, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren. So you can't take someone else's prayers as your own. That's disingenuous. Okay? So let's go to Sirach 35. 16. That says, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierces the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. And I put a note here a while back. It says, Isaiah 26:20 says, come, my people, enter to thy chambers, and shut up the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. And that's going to be a future prophecy, because that's these ICBMs coming on here into Babylon. All right. And so this is Micah 7:7. Therefore I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the power of my salvation. It says, my power will hear me. That's right. Let's go to Sirach 38. And we're going to read from verse 24 to 34. And actually, I want to go ahead and get this in the GNT. In the GNT, the title for this chapter is, for this section, is Scholarship and Other Occupations. I'll go ahead and read the GNT and I'll scroll along. It says, scholars must have time to study if they are going to be wise. They must be relieved of other responsibilities. How can a farmhand gain knowledge when his only ambition is to drive the oxen and to make them work, when all he knows to talk about is his livestock? Verse 26. He takes great pains to plow a straight furrow and will work far into the night to feed the animals. Verse 27. It is the same with the artist and the craftsman, to work night and day engraving precious stones. Carefully working out new designs. They take great pains to produce a lifelike image and will work far into the night to finish the work. Verse 28, it is the same with the blacksmith. It is the same with the blacksmith at his anvil, planning what he will make from a piece of iron. The heat from the fire sears his skin as his sweat as he sweats away at the forge. The clanging of the hammer defends him, and he carefully watches the object. His working takes shape. He takes great pain to complete his task, and will work far into the night to bring it to perfection. Verse 29, it is the same with the potter sitting at his wheel and turning it in his feet, always concentrating on his work, concerning how it will make objects, how many objects he can produce. He works the clay with his feet until he can shape it with his hands. Then he takes great pains to glaze it properly and will work far into the night to clean out the kiln. So you see that all this is, these people have different talents, but they're putting it into work. Okay. This is not all reposting. Okay. I'll read verse 31. So all of these people are skilled with their hands, each of them an expert at his own craft. Verse 32, without such people, there can be no cities. No one would live or visit where these services were not available. Verse 33, these people are not sought out to serve on the public councils, and they never attain position of great importance. They do not serve as judges, and they do not understand legal matters. They have no education and are not known for their wisdom. You never hear them quoting Proverbs. Verse 34, but the works they do holds this world together. When they do their work, it is the same as offering prayer, because their prayers pierce through the clouds, right? But along with their works, okay, they're not reposting. And it's okay to repost some things, but you got to do the work. You got to put in, what is his life worth if you don't have anything that you've actually produced that's tangible? Okay. And this man below, man, look what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. Okay. Mr. Tony Weeks right here. I love boxing. I coach boxing. for what I do. And I love it, But, this last quote really got me right here, man. He says, God willing. This is the last part of this article. It says, God willing, basically, Lord willing, right? You'll be seeing me for a while. I have a love for it and a respect for it. When it becomes a job, I think it'll be time for me to go. When I can no longer physically or mentally do it, it'll be a time for me to go. I just want to do this for as long as I can. That's all. This is from Tony Weeks. Let's see. Because this is, I believe this is Sirach 4 and 28. So you strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. I pray this lesson was edifying, Akim, Akwath, Ababa, Kwam Yashala, Shalom.